Well, I didn't quite think I'd be recording and uploading again so soon, but hey, the theme build event is here and going. Also, they released the 2 different versions of Gundam Calibarn and Mighty Strike Freedom. So, those are neat. Those are cool. I've checked them out a little bit, started making some builds with them, but for now, I do have my Protagonsit style suit, and that typo is present throughout everything, even when you go to upload it. It's like upload to like Protagonsit style gallery, so that's funny. It's not intentional, by the way, because the Japanese is, well, I mean, it's not going to say Protagonsit, it's just going to say, like, Shujinko style or something. Shujinko who or something along those lines. Either way, it's meant for protagonist type suits. And so what I did was this guy. I'm actually really happy with how the part separation, coloring, and overall part choices turned out. It turned out a lot better than I initially thought when I was just slapping things together. I think it looks very protagonisty with the colors that I like to use, though the darker blue, the darker red, and all that. Just to go over what I've got here, my Shining Gundam head. It's the best head part I've got. Also, I guess the Shining Gundam head isn't very popular. Makes me sad, but you know, I'm gonna use it. I have the Gundam X body. Both arms are the NT1 Alex, because I also like the Alex. And I feel like the arm Gatling guns don't get enough love. And I mean, I feel like they're really rocking the look here. The legs are the Age 1 normal. Mostly because I like the beam saber stab on them. Like, it's a grab where you just stab him in the gut with your beam saber. But it ends up looking really good combined together with the more blocky parts. I threw on grenade launchers onto the shoulder to be like additional shoulder armor to change up the shape and coloring. And like I said, it worked out really well. Threw GN condensers onto the knees. Just, again, more color separation and add on to the whole blocky look that's going on. I threw on little Barbados antenna on the back because I think it looks neat. Like, gives it little wings coming off the back. And then I also have the Musha Godmaru backpack because it has a nice skill on it, and it actually looks really good with the rest of the kit. Like, they don't function as beam sabers, but it still has the same sort of silhouette. And I wanted to mix in an SD part to make it look neat. And it ended up looking pretty fitting, honestly. As you can see on my big version up there, I have the carrier beam shield. The grapple is too good to resist. And just having it come in the shield is cool. New beam saber, because it's one of the more stylish beam sabers. It's got that katana look to it with a little hand guard. I also gave it the twin bust rifles of the Wing Zero Proto. Just a single one looks cool in general, but having the 2 lets me use the EX action, and 2 guns are cool. So yeah, let's take this out for a spin for a little bit, just to show off. Probably going to be a little bit of a shorter recording, just so I can show off my, you know, my entry here. And the question is, what do I do for a quest? Because I've got, well, this gun's about level 30 or something, so I could probably do any of these endgame stuff. Let's go fight some SDs, and end with Gundam Tryon. And not hide it. We'll keep it to standard, but I want to bring along some friends. Should bring along some other heroes. And I could probably also have them use other builds that I've made. Probably bring along Mashima, and I never bring along Rhyme. Let's have Rhyme join in. As for builds, I've rearranged some of them so that they're slightly better. But I've, 2 in particular, rebuilt my Game Master from command to control, giving it a different set of weapons and stuff. This flows a bit better with the original design intent that I wanted when making that build. And I revised that by rewatching some Build Fighters. Somehow I forgot entirely about the Gym Sniper K9. First off, the Renato brothers got shoved in the corner as designated villains when they're just really tactical. They had their win stolen from them because Meijin has plot armor, but the Gym Sniper K9 put up a really good fight, and I'm like, that's the kind of grunt suit elite that I want to be able to run with. And so with that in mind, came up with the Game Master Control as sort of a evolution of that concept. Have Mashima run that one. And since Rhyme likes to use the Xeon suits, I'll have him use my revised Goof. Now it is the Goof Vanguard. The Goof Righteous was definitely an idea I had, but it didn't feel right to me. It wasn't the kind of goof I wanted to make. This one is. I basically just mashed together the Goof Custom, Psychozaku, and Ifrit. The Ifrit is basically a goof, so it works. And this is a much better design as a, you know, same vein as the Goof Custom, an elite goof for aces. So, good stuff. Let's get in there, beat up some SDs, and show off what this guy can do. Just gonna roll in with the boys in some custom suits. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like the rear skirt wings made from the Barbados antenna works really well. One thing I will say with the Shining Gundam head, it's real hard to work with its V-fin and altering it. So there's only so much I can do because it's not a standard type V-fin. It is odd, but I think throwing on the Turn A's V-fin mustache up there helps shape it differently. But yeah, I've equipped him only with a single saber, you know, got shield bash, but overall that's fine. I do have the Boundox kicks on there because they don't change up the parts. That said, I no longer have to worry about builder's parts being deleted, so that's actually fantastic. I'm now more willing to use builder's parts on my, you know, main body and stuff without fear of them being deleted when I use mastered skills. The hologram effect still doesn't work great when you have things like, you know, hypertrans skills, especially like hyper mode, super mode, because being blue in the chest while everything else is gold does not look stellar. But at the very least, don't have to worry about certain parts being deleted. Like, you can keep up your aesthetics while using more skills. So I am happy with that. Now we just need to turn off the holograms while I shank this Captain Gundam. Yeah, the Boundock kicks are super nice, because, like, the kick combo in general is really nice. I like having to throw that on. I like it even better than, like, the Jigen Hao moveset, because instead of just martial arts, it's a quick set of kicks that do nice AoEs. I do have the funnel missiles from the Sea Gundam legs, because they are another skill that doesn't hologram. Those don't really have a story behind them. Oh, I don't think I didn't even mention what this guy's name is called. Because of the blocky look and how it feels like I really stuck on extra parts, I called it the Assembly Gundam. It's a sort of in the similar sort of concept as, you know, Iodi's naming scheme of the Build Strike, but I don't have an actual, you know, core concept. Whereas the Build Strike is based around the strike, this isn't really based around any single suit in particular. But because it looks like it's been assembled, right? I stuck pieces together. Stuck nice block, flat pieces together, almost like Legos even. I think Assembly Gundam, both as a name and as a concept, works real nice. So I'm happy with how that turned out. Because I'm sitting there like, what do I name this thing in the first place? I'm like, I mean, I put it together, and it looks like it's made up of just pieces stuck on. It managed to be cohesive, but it also looks like it's, you know, stuck together. It's been assembled. So, assembly Gundam. If anything, the shield might be the most out-of-place thing, but then it ties together with the backpack anyway, so it's fine. That is an MG carrier beam shield, because the regular one is actually really small, and I wanted to emulate more of the, you know, standard-size Gundam shield, so I went for the bigger version to make it more relative size. I grappled him, but he didn't fly at me. Also, having like 3 Gatling guns is really funny, because by the time I'm done with them, the first one's back again. And they're really good at locking people down. The Age 1 normal legs also have a beam saber throw, but unlike the boomerang type throws like the Exia or 00, it's a weird, like, straight dart toss. It still has the stun effect, which is fantastic. Love me a good saber throw stun. But yeah, it's quicker and just a straight shot instead of a boomerang. I don't really know how it compares to the boomerang style visually, because both are neat, right? I like throwing a spinning blade, but also a straight dart seems to travel faster and just stabs them. Yeah, I managed to load this thing with a lot of actions, despite the fact that it is, you know, supposed to be your basic type protagonist build. If anything, the most extra thing is the shield grapple. But everything else is feasible, right? I can just throw kicks because they're kicks. I have a beam saber on the leg, so I throw a saber. I have Gatlings on the arms and on the chest. Those are just there. So none of them really seem extra or too much. I would like to claim my money, so please leave me alone, you two. Those don't hit him. There we go. Let me just in the middle. Oh, and I did put NTD on it just for the sake of having quick boost. That doesn't do any visual changes. But that's more for my style rather than the flavoring the suit, I suppose. But at the same time, you know, it opens up the faceplate on the Shining Gundam, so at least that transformation goes somewhere, yeah? Instead of just not existing. Plus, it's like a barely noticeable part. So imagine you're fighting this guy and he's suddenly just faster. What happened? It's like, oh, well, there's a hidden system that doesn't really show you something's happening. Come back here. Now, with enough hits, I feel like they're able to break apart when I use the Gatling guns. Hang on, back up, fire this. Because they fire out wide, so they can't curve in too easily. But yeah, those funnel missiles are really good at breaking parts. I'm happy with how my blues came out. I know I made those earlier for like other builds, but it's just it's the sort of same blue that's on the Gundam Aerial rebuild, where it's like darker, and I think that's just a really nice color. And the way it blends together as like a darker sort of set here. But it's not like, you know, evil or anything. It's just a midnight blue as opposed to the bright colorful blue. I feel like it still matches the typical Gundam colors without being too toy-like. There we go. Nope, get down. I got grabbed. Go. Wow. Tryon sort of just ignore that, huh? Where are you going? Double buster rifle. Ah, it's not ready yet. Still not ready. There we go. I want to get the stab going. Where did Mei go? I know she's still around. There's no way the others took her out just yet. Juggling. Juggling. I'm gonna start this up going right now. I've never actually used that awakening pose before. The flip is actually super cool. There we go. Finished her off. And there's the crew. My shield is sort of blocking the way, but yeah. I feel like I've made a protagonist suit. It may not be an initial suit. I feel like it would make for a pretty good, like, mid-season upgrade, but not final suit, you know? Like, from the Exia to the 00, but not the 00 Riser yet, or even the Exia Repair 2. Or maybe it is an Exia Repair 2 compared to an Exia. I don't know. But that's sort of the idea behind it. I think it looks neat. Hang on. Give all things. There we go. So, that's that for, building a protagonist suit. I like it. The backpack is definitely a different choice than what you'd probably normally expect, but I feel like it still works all together. Being a big old block with, you know, sword sticking out the back, like a proper Gundam suit. Proper protagonist base suit. That is the assembly Gundam. So, you know, if you see it around, not to beg, but if you think it's good, you know, let me know. It's not like I plan on winning or anything, but I like being complimented, yeah? So, I know I'll be combing through whatever suits go through there and seeing what looks neat, reserving my judgment for myself, but, you know, I see things, I make judgments. You hear me talk about all those guys' suits out there. But, yeah. If you like it, please, well, let me know by hitting the button. Feels like I'm asking for YouTube likes. I'm not. I mean, it's basically on the same level. Oh, side note. I didn't realize. This guy's suit is made to resemble the, Huckabine from, Super Robot Wars. I didn't initially realize it because I'm not hyper familiar with Super Robot Wars. Like, especially some of the OG stuff. But after looking at it, yeah, no, it totally is. Plus, I was more preoccupied with the guy cosplaying the new Gundam Breaker final boss. But yeah, I mean, people already make other suits from other series. So, I mean, Super Robot Wars is Bandai, so they have the rights to it anyway. So of course some guy would make his own Huckabine in the Gundam game. It only makes sense. We even have the same, blue color scheme. That wasn't intentional. Anyway. I don't know when whatever next event or next DLC will come up, but I would definitely show up to see that. I guess I'll show off real quick. Yeah, because they are in fact in here. Down to G. Gundam. Past the age. Calibarn. It's funny because there's no MG Calibarn, but they put MG in the shop because I guess it would be a little difficult to get those to drop when they're not set to appear anywhere until like the DLC. So they just let you buy the MG. And I do find it odd that Permit Score 5 is its own separate thing, because as far as I can tell, the parts are exactly the same minus the base red permit lines, which change to rainbow when you use the hypertrance on the chest. But considering they are in fact two different kits, I guess it makes sense. And then down to M. Mighty Strike Freedom. Same deal, there's no MG for this kit yet. The HG just came out after all. But they let you buy both because you kind of have to. The head has the burst skill, which is the disintegrator, which is neat. Backpack has the katana as an EX skill, and the katana is also its own weapon, I believe. The beam sabers are not, which is interesting, because the Actua Lacerta beam sabers are different from the Super Lacerta beam sabers, though functionally they're similar anyway. But they are different, and clearly, as you can see under equipment parts, there's only the one saber, which is the katana. Still, it's a cool suit. It is a little odd to me that it is just Strike Freedom again, and unlike something like the New and the High New Gundam, the High New is an alternate timeline, alternate take on the same unit, right? We call it the High New because it was in the High Streamer novel, but originally in the novel it was just the New Gundam, right? It's an alternate take on the New Gundam. This is meant to be an upgrade of the Strike Freedom, so it's a little weird to me that it's like just the same suit and they changed out the backpack. But that's not for me to judge or really know about, because I still haven't watched Seed. Maybe eventually. That's still a lot of episodes though, isn't it? That's like 50 per season, and then the movie. Is it that much? Or is it 26? See, I don't even know. I'll find out eventually. We'll see. I'm sure one of my friends will get me to watch Seed, because I know one of them is a big Seed fan. The other one is one of them, another one is not, so... Anyway. Yeah, there they are. Probably play around with those later. Maybe mix them up, see something neat. Though, considering I like the funnels, I might just run a full Calibarn anyway. But yeah. Alright, Assembly Gundam. You're not gonna go rest just yet, but go out there and be cool for me.